we're getting an inspection hatch put into the diesel tank, but first we need to fully empty the tank of all the good diesel, store that, and then we can drill a hole in the tank, put an inspection hatch in, clean the whole tank out because of obviously getting that blockage in the tank that we did, and we don't want to repeat that. Right, what have we got here?
We've got roast dinner. So I've done roast butternut, creamed spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, vegan steak style thing as like a bit of like a meat substitute, and roast potatoes.
Beautiful.
That goes in there. And out come the roast potatoes, which look not too shabby.
That is not bad for a little...
No, for how small our oven is and how long everything normally takes.
They don't look too bad at all.
How many roasties do you want? Is that a stupid question?
17.
Yep, thought so.
And then what's in the pan over there?
So we've got some lovely broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and then some cream spinach.
Beautiful. It's never going to be enough.
You can always have more.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Okay. Hope it's good.
So do I.
Oh yeah, maybe just have this extra one. Hey, have you got enough?
I got
loads.
There's about 100, so we'll be fine.
I know, I have like made enough for like 20,000 people. Should I keep them in the oven?
Yeah, I think so. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've given the P bracket a coating of araldite, and it seems to have done the trick so far. Mopped up all the water from behind, and there's nothing here, which is good. Behind it's dry as well. I've left that for a good few hours now and seems to have done the trick. Nothing like it was, but the plan is still to just glass this whole section, cut this back so it gets right back to the proper fiberglass, and then that'll be able to bond to it quite nicely. We have found out that there is another place where water is getting into. So this pipe is the breather for the battery box, and it just goes for some reason, as far as I know at the moment, under the diesel tank, which is there. But there is, you'll be able to see it, when you move this, water comes out from in there, just about see. So water's been coming down here and pooling on this side of the P bracket. I don't know, I'm just gonna get this sofa bit up and see if I can see under the tank from this side, but the other side you can't. So it's, yeah, tricky one, but that at least gives us some explanation for the water that is pooling on this side. The water will travel under here, under the bed, and it comes out by the side of the prop shaft and the stern gland. So yeah, and then water comes out and goes into the engine bilge, and that's where the water has been coming from, I think, for the engine bilge, which is at least good to know that it's not coming from this and it's actually coming from there. But we need to know why there's water in there and where that's coming from. But I think it's either condensation coming off the tank or something like that. Okay, this is the setup that we're going to be using to empty the diesel tank. So we're getting an inspection hatch put into the diesel tank, but first we need to fully empty the tank of all the good diesel, store that, and then we can drill a hole in the tank, put an inspection hatch in, clean the whole tank out because of obviously getting that blockage in the tank that we did, and we don't want to repeat that. So I'm just going to take off one of the feeding pipes to the primary fuel filter, and that way we know that the tank's completely empty, or at least to the bottom of where the pickup for the fuel is, and any fuel left after that can just be wasted. But to do so is a little bit tricky. I'm just going to pump it into a smaller 5-litre jerry can, and then I'm going to put it into this bigger one. So I'll yeah, so that's the bigger one there. There's 20 litres, and then there's a 5-litre jerry can there. So it's going to be a bit of back and forth, but the majority has been taken out, as you might have seen before when the boat was on the hard and it was draining into numerous sort of jerry cans there of different capacities, and we got to about 90 litres and I thought the fuel tank was only about 80 or 90 litres, and so that's proven us wrong. But hoping there's only about 10 litres left or something, and then we can get that out and crack on. Okay, that's coming along nicely. Just for anyone wondering why I'm using this, but then I'm just going to decant it into that. The bigger one won't sit below the level of the tank. So this, the height of this, when looking across, yeah, it doesn't actually reach the bottom of the fuel tank. So the little black one does, where that sits down here and actually sits underneath all of these pipes as well. Right, so that's taken about, I would say, 8 to 9 minutes. Yeah, it's fairly fast, so you wouldn't want to leave it and walk away and do much else in the meantime. But yeah, that's the first one. So we've got 5 litres out. Let's see how many litres are left in the tank. So I'm just going to fill the temporary air dispatcher pickup jerry can with 5 litres of this, as I figured out that'll be quicker than just trying to get it out of the big can in a confined space. So that's what's happening now. This is our little rig I've got from the dispatcher pickup there. This is the fuel tank next to me. Hopefully we'll get maybe 8 to 10 litres in this. We don't want to fill it right up just in case there's a bit of movement, but so far so good. Look like I've gone cave diving or something, but yeah, so we finally got the last strips out of it, and I think there was 30 litres left just now. But we'd taken another 90 litres out when we were on the hard. Yeah, we did put another 10 back in to run a little bit on the air dispatcher because I was worried how much was left, as our fuel gauge doesn't work. So I'm thinking the tank's about 130 litres, which is a lot bigger than I thought. So that's good news, I suppose. So that's stage 1, and now we're going to drill some holes in the boat. That's what you call an inspection hatch. Big enough. I am now going to attempt to start cleaning out the diesel tank. I've put some paper around it, or duct tape some sort of paper towel around the sharp edges of where we've cut out the top, and that'll allow me to not shred my arm when I'm putting it in there. I think the approach is to try and get, there's about an inch worth of diesel on the bottom of the tank there. I want to get that out somehow, but there's loads of obviously then the filings from the metal in there, and there's also a load of crud in there from what obviously has been blocking the tank, which is what obviously we need to get out as well. So I think the first step is get that diesel out, either soak it up and put it somewhere, or try and suck it up into something, and then yeah, try and sweep up somehow that the rest of it. So it's not going to be easy. We'll see how we go. That's the paper towel. Looking in the tank there, you can sort of see all the metal filings at the bottom. That's better. Yeah, so you can see crud at the back there. So that's stuff to build up of what's getting in the tank as well. And then you can see all the metal filings under there. There's a baffle, so this here is the baffle. So then there is actually two sides to clean, not just one. You've got the fuel pickup on the left hand side there, you've got the fuel return on the right side, and then that little floaty device is the sender unit for the fuel level, fuel gauge, which actually doesn't work yet. A fair undertaking, but otherwise the actual condition of the tank is fine by the looks of it. So from what we can see, you know, the sides and everything, it's not bad. So yeah, wish us luck. See how we get on. Gonna try something a little interesting. We've got the wet vac here, and the wet vac means that you can suck up liquids, but they're not really rated for diesel and oil and things like that. However, I'm going to see what happens. Maybe not the best idea, but this came with the boat, so I'm not worried about it dying, and I think it's the quickest and easiest way to do it. Yeah, probably not a good idea to use a wet vac for it. Started smoking a bit quite soon after using it, so I might just take it off the boat for a moment and let it calm itself down. But it's done it. It's probably picked up a litre or two, so now I'm just going to pour it into a little container there. We can get that off and pour it into the oil waste disposal up at the marina there. So there's only now a bit left, which is manageable with a mop or something like that. So probably saved about an hour or two of work. Whether the wet vac survives or not, I don't know, but we'll see. Progress. The wet vac did some work, a bit left, we don't want to chance it anymore, so that's going to have to come out by hand. So this is my amazing concoction. It's a mop with gaffer taped blue roll on the top of it, or biff roll, whatever you want to call it. I can dip this in, get it all sucked up, and then undo it, discard it, and then do the same again without having to sort of start keep wringing it all out. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's see if it even fits. First pass with this. Look at all the sludge. Just wiping it down to the end there. And beautiful. Yeah. Okay.
3 hours later.
I've taken off the paper from the outside because it was getting wet and bits were dropping inside it. This is the situation so far. Obviously there's still a lot of crap in there, but all of the diesel's out and most of the crap is out. The next stage is to spray some degreaser and let that sit, and we're using gunk engine degrease and brush on. Well, we sprayed it on because can't get a brush in there, and we can just about get the spray bottle in there, to be fair. So, and then we're gonna leave it overnight and see what happens. Otherwise, yeah, the sun is setting, and I think it's Sunday evening and time for a beer. And this is where I put the paper towel over the edges, yeah, because it's sharp. Okay, so that is the job done. Glassed in all the way down there and back there a fair way as well, and sort of double layer over the top there as well. So it doesn't leak anymore. That's the main thing. But we are still going to go over the P bracket on the outside, probably take it right back around the fitting and maybe even glass over that as well, or just stuff it full of some sort of sealant. So yeah, another job off the list. So everything's done and finished, and we now have an inspection hatch put into the diesel tank. So yeah, I'll show you. So this mat's been put back in. We can just get into the corner here to reveal the hole. We've put a little screw in so that it usually sits flat. That can come up, so that allows you to pull up the top. That's really cool. Still need to just paint around the edges here, make that look a little bit tidier, and also there. But otherwise, here's the hatch. You can just put in, I don't know, 2 screwdrivers or something and spin that round. But yeah, that's the completed hatch. It's been set in with some, I think, Sika Flex, the black one. So far, so good in terms of leaks, but we'll just keep an eye on it as we go. That's the final piece of the puzzle. 'Cause I